Today I'm fishing a mill stream. Behind all that vegetation and under those trees is a small stream. The mill stream's not too long. There are a couple of fairly open spots where you can fish, and there are probably three, perhaps four, that are much more difficult. I'm making my way to the head of the stream, where I fished before on a couple of occasions, and on the way you may just get a peek at the stream. It's quite a tricky place to fish, but it holds chub, and I rather like fishing for chub. In fact, my sort of love affair with chub goes right back to when I was about 16. I was a member of a fishing club because in those days the only way a lad like me could fish places other than very locally was to join a club. And they had a water called the Holy Brook, which is just outside Reading, a tributary of the River Kennet. And on one occasion I was there, pure luck of course, I was just trotting down with a float, and the float went under and bang, I was into a very good fish. And when I finally got that fish onto the bank, it was a chub. That was the first real big fish I'd ever caught. In fact, it won me the fish of the month, as you can see in the picture. Chub, 3 pounds, 2 ounces, 10 drams. Anyway, we're almost at my chosen spot. You can see the weir in the background there. And there's the outflow from the weir pool coming into the head of the mill stream. It's a very clear spot, and it was a place to sit down and set up. As I say, some of the other spots are far less easy. So here we are, ready to go. It would be nice to think that I could get a fish on the first cast, but that's by no means certain here. Although the last time I was here, certainly not on the first cast. In fact, just as I was thinking about packing up, I did get a chub of just under 3 pounds, which was a very nice surprise. You can see it's a lovely looking fish, so just under 3 pounds. Anyway, back to today, patiently waiting, but not a lot happening, which can be the order of the day whenever you go fishing. I am using an Avon type rod today with a 2 ounce quiver tip insert at the top to give me a bit more bite sensitivity, because on other occasions I've actually managed to catch a few dace on the ledger, which is quite unusual really, because they are fast biting fish and it's not often the case you can pick them up, especially on luncheon meat or span on a ledger. I use a very simple rig for ledgering in these sort of conditions. In its basic form, it's just a loop of line looped over the main line with split shot, large split shot, fixed onto the loop. I use a little plastic stop on the main line. Today I've actually got a little plastic bead on with a link that allows me to connect the loop to the link, but that's not really necessary. You can just use the simple loop and some shot, and you can add or remove shot depending on the conditions, how much you want to hold the bottom or how much you want the bait to move about with the flow. I've actually edited out a bit of this video because in fact I was sitting here for a good quarter of an hour before we got any real action, just a few knocks and small fish trying to nibble large pieces of spam. And you're now seeing the action, which as I say didn't happen as fast as this video would tend to imply. The other problem is I'm still learning with this videoing, and you can see I've set the camera in such a position that, having hooked a fish and adopted a position so that I can play it and get it in, I'm now completely out of shot, which is a bit unfortunate. Anyway, I'm back in shot now, and the fish is coming in. Not a big one, but it's always good to catch something when the camera's rolling. And as we expected, or as I expected, it's a chub. The bite was classic chub, and the bait was aimed at attracting chub. Well, at least the camera is in the right position for you to see the unhooking process. And after clearing out all the debris that's collected on the way in, the chub have a habit of diving into the reeds and the edge vegetation, and often pick up some debris on the way. And sometimes actually manage to get so well into the reeds that they actually escape. They shed the hook. Now a still photo simulation. There we go, the flash is simulating the camera flash, and this is a static photo of me holding the fish. It's a nice feature because it allows you to sort of move into a better position and display the fish in a better way. Time now to try another spot. This particular spot I'm in at the moment hasn't proved to be very active this morning, which is unusual. It's usually quite a good spot. Anyway, we're now in one of the spots that I referred to previously as being not quite as easy to fish. You will see it's quite a jungle. The trees are almost reaching the bank which I'm standing on, and I've sort of had to wade through nettles and what have you to get to a position to fish. That's looking down the rod tip, which is pointing down quite a steep bank. The water level's a fair distance below me, and I've cast in that channel between the reeds you can see in the middle of the stream there and the near side bank. In fact, before I started videoing here, I lost a really good fish, and I think part of the reason was that the rod I'm using today wasn't really up to the task. I needed to bully the fish out of the reeds. It's a much more hostile environment than the spot I was fishing first of all. So I think if I come back here again, I will use a slightly stronger rod and perhaps a slightly heavier line, because you really need to muscle these fish out. Once they get into the reeds or into the bulrushes, it's odds on certainty they're either going to snag themselves and you end up breaking the line, or they just transfer the hook to the rushes. Off video, I did in fact manage another fish out of this spot, and as you can see in the picture, not a big fish. The one I lost was an awful lot bigger than this. But anyway, I did get one, so perseverance. We're now at the swim near the road bridge, which is the other very open swim, which I think is fished quite a lot actually, and I was walking my way back to the bridge basically before packing up, so I thought I'd give it a try. It's a lovely looking swim, and one imagines if you fished it all day you might be able to take quite a few fish. I managed to take one, again unfortunately off video, again not a very big fish, but it did end the day with a chub, which was a good ending, and no doubt I'll be back, and if I can catch a bigger fish next time, I'll certainly try to get a video of it. Bye for now.